I am the Commissar, that's my name. Forged alliance forever, that's the game. Which of these players have a claim to fame? We're gonna find out right now in exciting, no holds barred, to the death, 5 versus 5 action on a custom game on a random map. We have the North team in the north up here. We have the South team in the south down here. Let's go in and meet them, see who's fighting. In the air position for the northern team, Zaznoba. He's 1600 rated, he's UEF, and he is red. Out here on the flank for the northern team is DonBrownie, who is, appropriately enough, in brown. He's UEF, he's 1100 rated. In the middle for the northern team, this is Samsquanch. He is 1100 rated, and he's Eon. In this sort of sandwich position, sandwiched between the air player in the back and the forward player in the front, here is HanSolo. He's 1200 rated, he's Seraphim, and he is dark green. Here in the forward position for the northern team, last but by no means least, is Smithers, their highest rated player. He's 1700 rated, he's pink, and he's Eon. Now looking at their opponents, here in the air position for the south we have ALKFL, 1400 rated, he's Seraphim, he's Cyan. Out here in the flank we have Dorset. Dorset is 1300 rated, he is Cybran, and he is Burgundy. In the central position, this is Rabid Blue J1, he's 1000 rated, he is lime green, and he's gone UEF. Here in the sandwich position, I'm still calling it that, we have TwitchyMofo, 1400 rated. He is Eon and he is yellow. And last and equally not least for the southern team, this is Nightblood. He's 1700 rated, so he's also their highest rated player. He's grey and he's playing Seraphim. Quick look at the map. Here is the diagonal line separating the two teams, and it has most of the reclaim on it, though there's a fair amount of reclaim scattered around elsewhere. We've got early movement out from Nightblood, who's already walking forward. But Smithers is not far behind him, performing the equivalent action on his side. Zaznoba has an early transport which he's loading with engineers. I'm going to guess that he's going to drop out here and hit or here to get some of the reclaim from there. Now this is an interesting move from Blue Jay. It's only 3 minutes in and he's already on his way for Tech 2. Not a single piece of land spam at all, just going straight for Tech 2. It's going quite slowly though, because I bet he cannot afford to assist it. Absolutely he cannot. But Blue Jay with his comm is heading up here for the middle, whereas Sam is heading out for this expansion in the canyon here. So that means that Dorset is going to be left to take this canyon, as well as the flank, whereas in the north, Brownie is taking the flank all by himself. So we've seen Zaznoba now dropping here, so a little closer to his main base than I would have expected. I would have expected out here. But he is carrying on. He's also going to drop engines out here. And he's already got a second drop heading down here for these mexes on the flank. A few little chaps hoovering up some reclaim there. Let's just have a look at those little Eon engineers eating up some rocks. That was exciting, wasn't it? Zaznoba's dropped off his fellows here. We haven't seen much early raiding. We saw a couple of flares earlier come out here and get picked off by Nightblood's comm, but there hasn't been any air raiding. This could be something though. That's a lot of flares just scuttling up there from Twitchy. Look at those little things just running along on their stupid little legs. Who wants these flares? Well, Twitchy does. And he's going to see to it that Brownie and Sam, presumably, don't want them. Eventually Dorset brings his comm up to take on the canyon expansion while his units expand here. Meanwhile, Sam's in the canyon expansion and Brownie is up here building quite a decent production area in the flank position. Now Nightblood already has the gun before anybody else has even started an upgrade. So that's a pretty aggressive play, and he's even got a bit of spam, just a little bit, backing him up. Whereas here in this factory, Sam is only producing NGs and his comm is still naked. Smithers starting the... I thought I saw Smithers starting the land upgrade. Oh, he's starting the HQ, not the... There he is, he's on T2 now. Anyway, here comes a little push out from Nightblood towards Sam. We'll keep an eye on that. Zaznoba looks like he's trying to get in on the drop action down here. Meanwhile, these flares from... Let's have a look at these two things separately. Here are some drops coming in from Han and Zaznoba, and here are some pushes going on from Twitchy, where they run into some of these units from Brownie and just dive it. This is where all the action is now. We have Nightblood's Guncom pushing in with spam against just these early positions from Sam, who's got nothing to stop Nightblood's comm or his spam. Meanwhile, those are some quite nice drops from Han, and even more bold drops from Zaznoba, but this is where we need to be looking. And Sam is fleeing away from Nightblood's comm, retreating back out of the canyon. Could this be a take and hold for Nightblood? Meanwhile, these tanks from Brownie have pushed back the flares, but there's a raid going around the side, and the flares are faster than the tanks. Zaznoba finishes his drops down here, and he might get some of these big rocks, but Dorset's already massing tanks which might stop them. Okay, let's return to our single screen view. So here's Nightblood setting up in the canyon, which he's just taken from Sam. Here's a nice bunch of tanks from Brownie, but these flares have just run around them. They've already picked up an engineer, and they might pick up a couple more, maybe even some mexes. So a nice firebase there from Nightblood going up. If not a firebase, at least he's getting the eco under his belt. Will he push harder? We'll have to see. Here though, these NGs from Zaznoba are the subject of a counter push coming in from Dorset. Looks like they're going to die. I mean, with that radar, with that scout, he can certainly see them. Nightblood upgrading to T2 while Sam gets the gun to try and counter. Yeah, look at that. Those flares from Twitchy have managed to take out both the engineers up here, and they're on course to get their second mech, so that's pretty nice. Meanwhile, the push from Brownie has been stopped by Twitchy's comm. That's a sneaky little drop from Zaznoba, putting down those 3 engineers there to steal some of this spam from Dorset. I don't expect they'll survive long, but I mean, they've already paid for themselves several times over. So definitely worth the drop there. Nightblood still upgrading. Let's have a look at air, meanwhile. Now, ALK, he's spent a lot of time without an air factory at all, but then he's thrown it down and gone straight for T2, and he's halfway to T3. But Zaznoba already at T3 and getting his PGen up, so air advantage, I would say, to the northern team right now. Dorset pushes in with his comm against Smithers, but Smithers has come forward and set up T2 and T1 turrets already, and he's got a decent amount of spam. I think that's going to be enough to push back Dorset and his comm. Smithers' spam follows him up, and he's had his turret shot out by Dorset, but he's just rebuilding it. I don't think they're very well positioned. Look at the shape of that land. But they were getting things done, so obviously they weren't completely bad. These tanks from Dorset raid up a bit, catching a couple of engineers, but there's already spam here massing from HanSolo, and he'll probably be able to stop this little incursion with these tanks. Up here, Blue Jay sends a little bit of a raid around, and Smithers moves his spam back to counter it. Quite a big push coming in from Twitchy as well, by the look of things. And splitting it to go in two directions. Whichever way Brownie sends his spam, other side's going to get in. Smithers spam forming up over here. Now, looks like we got a couple of things to look at once. So let's go back to the split screen. Down here, Hans' comm is pushing in, but up here, not only is Nightblood's comm pushing in, but Twitchy's spam is as well. So let's try and keep all these things in our sights. Hans' comm pushes forward. Over here, Blue Jay is assembling clifftop turrets to try and fire down on Dorset. So we'll try and see all the things that are going on. Nightblood just pushing forward, and is he going to... Yeah, he's just trying to straight up set up T2 turrets while his health from the upgrade protects him, and I think he's going to get one online. Meanwhile, these mexes are going down to the spam from Twitchy, who is pushing in from two directions, which is quite nice, and he's also got the gun and a half for Eon. As has Sam, but Sam's a little closer, in fact. However, there's already two T2 turrets nearly done for Nightblood, so that might be enough to make Sam have second thoughts. This turret is just defensive at the moment from Blue Jay and can't fire on the turret from Smithers. Hans quite far forward, unaccompanied, and so we might have to worry about him. Meanwhile, though, I think we better go back to single screen just so we can look at everything at once. Here's a strat, the first T3 air attack, coming out towards Blue Jay from Zaznoba. It's going to get that T2 mech, and it nearly gets the T2 support factories, but not quite. It's been seen, and it's moving on. Gets also... Ooh, it gets the mechs there, but I think it was trying to get all of that, but it failed to get the Pigeon as well, and these ASFs quickly pick it up. Nightblood still holding his position against Sam, but this is his new forward position that he's holding, so that's quite nice. The push from Twitchy is beginning to peter out just a little bit in the face of T2 point defences and T2 tanks from Brownie. Nightblood is now sending a raid up towards Brownie's main base, rather than trying to push in against Sam's guncom. That could be quite powerful. While Han, meanwhile, who we were looking at pushing earlier, is now supported by his spam, and is causing definite woes for Dorset in the far south. Maybe he'll even drive him off this position. The position that Brownie currently holds the mirror of in the north. Nightblood is getting his tanks now deep into the base for Brownie, and Sam's been forced to reposition his own spam to fight back. Han keeps on down. Nightblood's put a shield up here now. He's beginning to get Ilshiros in, he's getting flak in, he's getting missile launchers. This raid has distracted Sam very much. He's not getting a great deal actually killed, but he's given himself the position to set up here, and he's definitely going to hold this position now against Sam. Meanwhile, Brownie has managed to push back Twitchy, but don't forget that Twitchy's got that gun and a half on his comm, so that could be an advantage if he decides to push in with his comm. So after his strap was shot down, we got a broadsword out here from Zaznoba. He could raid Nightblood's base with it. He could raid Blue Jay. They're the most obvious targets for a quick broadsword attack. But he's got to be careful. There are ASFs on the field not far away from ALK. Smithers has come forward here to try and take out Blue Jay from underneath, and he's taken out that turret. And he's even got a turret of his own up, but these artillery should be more than enough to take the turret out. However, he's taken out that other far base of Blue Jay, so that's nice. Is that broadsword already dead? Looks like it. There was a decent amount of flak here, and that must be what it went down to. Now, Smithers trying to put up his own turrets here, but Blue Jay, who has the gun and has T2, walks in and is able to take it out. Nano going down for Nightblood. And it looks like Blue Jay's coming for a return fire. Doing a nice little dance there. He forces Smithers away with his comm, but there's a lot of Smithers spam here. Blue Jay has to be careful. Threatening positions again from Twitchy as he moves in on Brownie. But Brownie has an awful lot of mobile missile launchers here, and they look like they're, despite the TMDs, they combined with Zaz and Sam's own common missile launchers are actually penetrating into Nightblood's base, forcing Nightblood to send his comm up in person, and another broadsword comes in and starts taking pot shots at Nightblood, but ALK is quick to see that and sends his ASFs to intercept. There's a couple of ASFs here from Zaznoba, but it looks like this is going to be quite the air win for ALK. Perhaps he'll capitalise on it. Dorset's now got a gun stealth nanocom here, and he's beginning to push Han back the tiniest bit in the south. Twitchy has brought his comm forward to back up his attack force. Will he be able to make any actual inroads against DonBrownie? But look at this. Sam has taken advantage of that mobile missile spam from Brownie, and he's pushed Nightblood all the way back into the canyon and retaken this area with all its 6,000 reclaim for the taking. That is not to be sniffed at. Speaking of that, look at that eco. We're pretty close. There's a 30 eco per tick lead for the northern team, but overall only 2,000 in it out of 300,000 aside for total mass collected, so that's very close. Dorset goes forward with his gun nanocom, pushing back Han. Han has got he's got gun and he's got T2 engineers, and he's got some T2 point defenses here, so in combination with the shield, that might be enough to hold Dorset back. But Dorset's got a decent amount of spam. He might be able to push in. We'll keep an eye on that. And here are the first Nothas of the game. You did wonder where they were after seeing the title, didn't you? Well, now you know. Here they are. We have a bunch of Nothas coming out, well, more of a trickle of Nothas coming out from ALK. What's this? A sneaky little drop? Is that a Harby? Yeah, that's a Harby. He drops a Harby in against Dorset's position up here and opens fire. Meanwhile, some Nothas are massing up here, some are massing down here. I say massing, trickling. That Harby's not really getting much work done. Its shield is down. There's a T2 mix there it's going to get. Yeah, so it's killed a T2 mix, but thanks to this Percival that's come in, and these Nothas, it's not really going to get much done. Meanwhile, we got Nothas going to some places. In fact, we've got lots of Notha movement. T1 mechs on the way to T2. They don't hit that, they hit the one that's already T2. Meanwhile, down here, 2 more Nothas come in. They're gonna get that mechs at least, they do. But Smithers, Air Force and Flak quickly take it out. These Nothas up here are having more success. They've taken the second mechs out and look like they're gonna get a third. There is a singular ASF coming in from Zaznoba, but it's quickly picked off. Oh, no, make that 2. But they're quickly picked off by the forces from ALK, who definitely has air, and a third T2 mechs goes down to the Nothas. Meanwhile, yet more Nothas are raiding up the right-hand flank. T2 Pigeon goes down to the Notha up there, and yet another one is coming in. Where are they going? Can't really tell yet. Are they going for Nightblood himself? So a mech's taken out there. Oh no, they're coming in for more of Brownie's stuff, but there's a Sam here now, and those Nothas think better of it, but it may be too little too late for them, as they are picked off by this Sam. Meanwhile, these Nothas have got 1 mech already, and they make a beeline for another, but the ASFs from Zaznoba take them out. Nightblood's comm has meanwhile tried to push back, but he hasn't been able to make any concrete gains here, and he quickly falls back into the canyon. We've got a Notha snipe being attempted against Smithers' comm, but he's got shields, he's got AA. I'm pretty sure that those Nothas are all just gonna die. They might reposition and go for one of his mexes, like this one, but I don't feel they're gonna get much done, and they don't. Tactical missile starting on Zaznoba, that seems like it's gonna be quite fun. Notha raids coming out here as well. Are they going towards hand stuff, maybe? There's just this constant trickle of Nothas dropping stuff everywhere, which is quite nice. Force your enemy to react in lots of different places. So here's Sam now bombarding Nightblood's forward position with and Nightblood himself with a decent heap of missiles, spam, and a gun and a half plus shield comm, which is not to be sniffed at. Here's those Nothas we saw earlier coming up, and they do get a mech, but again, Zaznoba responds. Is this a Billy I see before me? The strategic baby thingy detected towards my hand. It is. It's a Billy from Zaznoba. I do love me a bit of Billy nukery. Blue Jay pushes forward up here towards this central territory, but then it seems like Sam Smithers. Sam, it was in the firing line, but Smithers has come in from the side and may deal with this push before anything really gets done. Nice Harvey raid out here though from Twitchy is absolutely getting stuff done down here in Brownie's base. It's going to get a good couple of mechs, maybe 3 mechs at least in several of the factories. Will it be overwhelmed by all this? I don't know. We might need to see some more stuff coming out to save it. What can Brownie do? and Blue Jay's push here has been shut down entirely by Smithers. There's enough T2 PDs here, in fact, that they're just slowly tickling the Harbs to death. Only 2 remain, but that's 4 factories, 3 T2 mexes, couple of T2 point defences. Not a bad raid at all from Twitchy. Quite a lot of spam massing for Han here, and neither side has been able to hold on in the south to the Canyon expansion. Nightblood still has the Canyon expansion up here, but both he and Twitchy seem to be falling back with their comms. He's got an immensely well-armoured comm here, has Nightblood. 5 vets, T2 nano, 23,000 hit points and quite a lot of regen. Now, we just saw our first experimental complete. That's this GC back here for Smithers, stomping forward. And we got our first strat out from ALK. Let's see whether that can achieve anything. And we've also got Nothas. You thought there was only going to be a few Nothas, didn't you? But nope. We've also got Nothas out here from Nightblood. We'll see what they plan to do. That strat, meanwhile, is coming around this way, perhaps. What's it got in its sights? It's already picking off mexes from Han. Nightblood's got himself a chicken down here. Another mech's taken out. And another. This strat's not doing too badly. But it's already taken a lot of damage, and the ASFs and SAMs quickly finish it off. Now, I don't think Blue Jay doesn't know that that's a GC in his comms right there. This could be about to be some pain going down. Dorset finishes a monkey, but it's going to be too little, too late to save Blue Jay, who's in the line of fire of that GC. There goes Blue Jay, exploding to Smithers' GC. But that GC is about to be sandwiched between this monkey from Dorset and this GC, this chicken from Nightblood. Nightblood's Nothas drop bombs to soften it up a bit, but the Nothas are quickly taken out by the flak from Smithers. Zaz has dropped some engineers up here in the north to pick up a bit of the reclaim from that raid, but it might not survive long because Twitchy's pushing in with more Harbies. And there's our first Billy explosion as Zaznoba fires at what was the forward base for Nightblood, and sort of still is, but I don't think it's going to last very long. However, look at this. These Harbies have just completely cleared Brownie off his expansion. Now, these broadswords might have something to say about it because there's only T1 air coming in from Twitchy, but this is where we want to look. The GC goes down to the sandwich of chicken and monkey. Its supporting spam kills the monkey, but there's still a chicken from Nightblood coming forward. And there's a lot more Nothas, yet more, as if you thought we'd had enough, from ALK. The broadswords do indeed push back Twitchy's attack, and making the most of it, we have a quick colonization attempt going down from Zaznoba into the space they vacated. Quite a beefy comm now for HanSolo there, and he's got an XP, but where is it? I think it might be all the way back here. Yes, it is. It's a chicken. Nightblood now completely evicted by Sam's push from the Northern Canyon. And could this be a move from these Nothas? Where are they going? These broadswords seem that they're being caught out a bit. Are they? I think this chicken has now come for Smithers. He's running away, but the Nothas aren't having any of it. Smithers tries to run, Smithers tries to hide, but Notha fire falls down upon him and Smithers explodes to a huge Notha snipe from ALK. The broadswords do take out the chicken, but the GC is inherited by Zaznoba, and he hasn't got the APM, having just suddenly inherited all this stuff, to actually do anything about it. And so that GC is just going to die to the Iron Storm from the chicken. Crash! Down it goes, falling to its knees. More sneaky reclaim drops coming out there from Zaznoba. He's been very big on those this whole game. Now this is fun. Twitchy has a bank of TMLs up here and he's shooting at the production from Brownie. One T3 factory down. 2 T3 factories down. Brownie realises that he might get sniped and quickly scampers away with his comm. But another Billy out from Zaznoba takes out the attack force massing for Twitchy that was presumably planning to come back up here, but what's a few T3 units when you've got a GC walking in, just as we have from Twitchy. Another huge wave of Nothas masses for ALK. You would think he'd have enough of them by now and that he might go for strats instead, but no, he loves his Nothas. Looks like we've got an air combat coming in here. Zaznoba is screening his broadswords with ASFs, but ALK's just got more. And not only does he get a decisive air win, he cleans up the broadswords as well. We've got double nano on the way for Nightblood. Maybe he's planning to push back with his comm. That'd be a bit fun. Meanwhile, this army from Brownie is just herded back by the GC here from Twitchy. I don't think that GC is going to get all through all of that, but it's going to put up a pretty good attempt on the way. Meanwhile, Han pushes on Dorset. He has a chicken, but the Nothas kill it but are taken out by the anti-air. Sam and Brownie stop the GC. Now, we are 33 minutes into the game. The ecos are even in terms of mass per tick. Map control slightly in favour of the southern team, but not vastly, and overall looks pretty balanced. Who do you think is going to win? Place your bets now in the comment section below. You know the rules. No cheating. You have got GCs pushing forward in the middle, but I don't think they're going to get far. There are chickens and decent amounts of general stuff going against them. Ooh, double gun, double nano being prepared for Nightblood. I do love me some of that. Let's hope he's going to use it effectively. Billy attacks now are pushing back against the next base of Nightbloods. It's got a shield, it's got some TMD. So it might take a while for the Billy to chew through it though. Maybe it would be better used over here, although there's also a bunch of TMD there. Maybe you can't see it because of the stealth. Nightblood working on a Novax there. But so is Brownie. Counter push maybe here planned for Sam and Brownie. And maybe also for Dorset, who's got a monkey coming on up. He's been trying to sneak some reclaim, including the wreck of the chicken. And we have experimental defense in the form of 2 chickens massing for Nightblood. But now we've got an Arswasher out from ALK. To the newbies watching, everyone calls it an Arswasher. I know it says Arwasser, I can read. But everyone calls it an Arswasher because, well, you would, wouldn't you? Hans' shield goes down. He's almost finished the chicken, but he would do well to watch out for the Arswasher, which is just keeping... He's outside the shield. Is he just gonna... He's outside the shield. Could he be about to die to this bomb? Oof, that was painful. He's still got 9,000 hit points left, and he starts putting up another shield, but he hasn't moved inside... He hasn't moved inside this one. Boom, and he pays the price. HanSolo defeated at 36 minutes by the experimental bomber from ALK. The Novax is up and about for Nightblood, but he's using it defensively, having lost his 2 chickens to these GCs. Wow, there's so much going on. This push here is diving into the forces of Twitchy, but Twitchy's got another GC, and with the help of that GC, I think he's going to clean this up. No problems. The experimental bomber is still dropping its shots around here. That chicken will go down quickly unless Zaznoba can realise it's under attack and it's being pinged. That's Brownie's own Novax completing at last. Nightblood's still using his own Novax defensively. I don't know whether that's the best use for it, but I suppose he's only got, at the moment... I mean, that's lots of Ravagers though. I think he's got enough. It could be attacking with that Novax rather than defending. This chicken still feels quite poorly positioned, but that Mega will more than deal with it. A GC from Sam meets the GC from Twitchy, but I think that Twitchy has the better spam, but the fewer shields. That Novax didn't really achieve much, did it? But Sam's GC wins the day against Twitchy's, but Twitchy's spam tickles the GC. I think it might survive, you know. What else have we got? We've got Fat Boys as well, out from Nightblood, and the Arwasser is bombing out the experimentals and the spam that are coming in from Zaznoba. 3 GCs are not to be sniffed at, and we've still got the defense satellite being used as an actual defense satellite. But Zaznoba doesn't think he can take it. He loses 1 GC. Both the others are on half health. They draw back. And now this is what we should be using a Novax for. Picking off mixes in the back line, and that's exactly what Brownie's doing. The Billy push continues here, but as you see, it hasn't really achieved much. The Arswasher heading north. I wonder what it's got its eye on there. And watch this! We've got a sneaky little GC push coming in between Dorset and Nightblood and going for Dorset. That could get some damage done, but we've also got to watch out for this strat wave here from ALK. So let's do the thing. And down here in the south, Dorset's comm is quite close to that GC, but up here in the north we've got strats and Arwasa massing against somebody. Defensive bomb against Sam's Harveys takes them all out, no problems. Dorset running away, but the GC's suddenly standing still, and that doesn't feel like it's at all sensible. The strats move in. Where are they going? Could they be going for this Novax up here? There they are on the horizon. The bombs drop, they hit the shield, and down goes the Novax. The ASFs from Zaznoba and the SAMs on the ground are going to clean up the strats before they can get much else done though, but they do give another air win to ALK. Meanwhile, here in the south, that GC, but, I say meanwhile, but this is where it's all at, the bomber dies. But it falls with its bomb directly onto Brownie, blowing him up, and we can go back to single screen. So now we've got 2 versus 4 left over, and this GC is being reclaimed by all the hives from Dorset, but now he's got a monkey and a mega in there, and he's able to take it out at last. But Dorset has lost a lot of his starting stuff here, and that could cost him dearly. He's got a little raid running around here, which is very nice. I like that. It's taken out a couple of things. It's taken out quite a bit, actually. And the Billies are finally beginning to break through into this position. Still a defensive Novax work from Nightblood. And is that T3 RTIC taking out Zaznoba's air grid? Why yes, yes it is. The Billy finally cracks through and takes it out. Now there is an RT started here for Zaznoba, but that feels like too little and it feels like too late. Where's that RT? Well, it's here, firing from Nightblood. And it looks like ALK is not the only one playing the Notha game. We've already seen Nightblood do it, but we've got a couple of them coming out from Zaznoba as well. Meanwhile, big wing of strats flies out from ALK here in the south. And here comes Zaznoba's Nothas. Where are they going? I'm not really sure. There's a lot of them. But They're not doing anything. What are they doing? More Billy defense out here from Zaznoba's comm, who is standing here. But there's a GC coming, there's T3 coming. It's going to be hard for Sam and Zaznoba to stop it all. Meanwhile, the Nothas from Zaznoba finally go in, and we can see that what their plan is, it's to take out this megalith. The megalith is down to only a quarter of its health. But it does take out this chicken. The Nothas from Zaznoba make another pass and prepare for another, but ALK has something to say about it and brings in his ASFs, which clear up Zaznoba's Nothas. This feels like a slightly closer air match this time, but good turns there from ALK and he wins it again. The monkey though dies to the wreck of the chicken. Are those yet more billies? Could be a billy. It is a billy. Meanwhile, slow but steady experimental push from Nightblood. Still working up here on this artillery. Couple of shields around it, but the artillery from Nightblood is raining down on it, and he's nearly finished a second. Strats now over here for ALK. What are they going to do? Are they going for Zaznoba? Can they see him? This could be an attempt to snipe out Zaznoba. The bombs drop, but Zaznoba gets under a shield and he survives with 7,500 hit points, and the strats go down to all the AA. So that strat snipe did not work. Meanwhile, the Nothas from Zaznoba are going for a snipe of their own on ALK, but that's not getting anywhere. ALK just picks it off. Had enough of Nothas yet? Too bad. There's more. Against all the odds, Zaznoba's arty actually finishes, but for how long is it going to stay up? I don't think, with the arty of Nightblood and the Novaks raining down upon it, that's going to last very long. And indeed, it does not. There it goes. Alas, we hardly knew ye. Quite a significant push coming in over here from Dorset and Nightblood, just inching. I say push, it's that same little crowd of XBs just inching forward. The Billy defense keeps up, but now there's a lot of GCs to worry about. Guys, what did I tell you? You know what that is? You know what that is? That's a big bunch of Nothas. Where do you think we're going to see them going? Quite a concerted push down here to stop these experimenters, and it might even succeed. But Dorset's trying to get some stuff in to the less defended areas. There's a mega backed up by some SCUs out here. There's a mega up here. The Nothas are on the move. Do we know where they're going? Just here for now. Do they have a plan? Are they going for a snipe? I think they are. I think they're going to try and snipe Zaz. Zaznoba's shielding is being slowly whittled down by the artillery, and Zaznoba himself is standing there. The Novax joins in. This feels like a snipe attempt. And here come the bombs. Boom! Zaznoba goes down. There's a great big explosion. And now everything hands over to poor old Sam. We've got 3 nukes loading for Nightblood. That's quite a lot of nukes. And wouldn't you believe it, we have even more Nothas. We've got a Soul Ripper out, taking advantage of the definite air lead from Dorset. 5 vet mega, 1 vet mega. I say a Soul Ripper, we've got 2 Soul Rippers out. All over but the crying. I don't think Sam can come back from this. You don't think Sam can come back from this. And is it going to be this wave of Nothas that finishes him off? Or this wave of Nothas? Or both together? Could be anything. Pressure just continuing from all sides. Twitchy pushing in here. This Novax still raining down shots from above. Dorset pushing in here. And artillery crashing down in the middle. The Notha's launch. That direction feels like they're just going straight for Sam. Could this be the end of things? In they come. He's working on his salvation. I don't think that's going to get finished. But I think he's dodging. He's got multiple shields to hide under. He actually clears up the Nothas and dodges them and does not die. He's only slightly hurt. Oh well, ALK knows the answer to that. More Nothas. There's another lot of them already coming together here. But you remember we saw 3 nukes on the way for Nightblood? Sam had an SMD. No longer does he have an SMD. Look right here. With Fatboy and GC defending on the flank, this Mega might die, but there's 2 Soul Rippers coming in to finish off those unfortunate XBs from Sam. Sam's other flank falling already to these 2 GCs, backed up by a decent amount of Harbies and Sniper bots. He's got 1 GC, but 2 GCs beat 1, even if it weren't for the spam. Strategic launch. And there's the nuke launch. It's going straight for Sam. And what can poor old Sam do? We do have another little extra Notha attack coming in the side, but I don't think that really matters. It's just nice to see even more Nothas. Here comes the nuke. Kablam! And in that explosion, poor old Samsquanch dies, the southern team win the game, and the northern team are wiped out. Whew! That was quite intense. There was stuff going on all the time, every minute. So, what I want to know, my loyal viewers, are you a fan of Nothas? If you weren't before, are you now? Will we see more of those Seraphim fighter bombers on the field from you? Tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to like, follow, and obey. I'm TheCommissar, and I'll see you next time.